Championship of the world. Mayweather, widely recognized as the best in the sport, has never faced a fighter with the natural size and strength of Carlos Baldomir. And while Floyd remains a solid favorite in the fight, many believe Baldomir possesses the tools to give Mayweather all he can handle. Baldomir versus Mayweather is being brought to you by Mandalay Bay, boxing at its best. Tycoon Armagnac, you don't just sip it, you live it. True Dat Entertainment, the leader in urban talent and music. Icelink Watches, exclusive timepieces. And by HBO Pay-Per-View, the best in pay-per-view entertainment, brought to you by HBO. Carlos Baldomir has not lost a fight in almost 8 years, yet he seemed to come out of nowhere in 2006 with victories over Zab Judah and Arturo Gatti, both of whom he beat in their hometowns. Tonight, he promises to shock the boxing world one more time by knocking out Floyd Mayweather in his hometown of Las Vegas. Mayweather enters tonight's bout supremely confident that his speed and skills will be too much for Baldomir to handle. And few have been more dominant in big fights over the course of their careers than Mayweather, who looks to turn in yet another brilliant performance while claiming Baldomir's 147-pound world championship. Tiger Woods, Denzel Washington, Charles Barkley, Magic Johnson, James Toney, Tommy Lasorda, Pete Rose, many others, including Michael Jordan, here to honor Floyd Mayweather, who is regarded as the best active fighter in the world and who is taking on an extremely tough challenge tonight in fighting Carlos Baldomir, or so we say. One thing that could make it tough, the absence of Mayweather's regular trainer, Roger Mayweather, whose uncle, who has trained him for the past few years. He wouldn't have been here tonight anyway, and let's take a look at the reasons why. Because of this melee that took place in the 10th round of Mayweather's fight early this year against Zab Judah, when Judah fouled Mayweather twice and touched off the in-the-ring brawl that was prompted by the arrival over the top rope of Roger, or through the ropes, I should say, of Roger Mayweather to, in his view, defend his nephew from mayhem. Roger was suspended by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. He would have been able to train his nephew for the fight in the gym, but not to be here tonight to talk to him in the corner. But then in September, Roger Mayweather was convicted of battery in an incident involving the grandmother of one of his children. And because of that conviction, he is serving a 6-month sentence in the Clark County Detention Center. Earlier today, our camera visited the Clark County Detention Center, where an interview can be conducted only via a video monitor, for a conversation with Roger Mayweather about tonight.
Well, I told him to make the fight the easiest fight possible with Baldomir. And the key with a guy like Baldomir comes straight forward. It ain't like he do something special. What you have to do with my nephew is give him a strategy. He gonna stay with the strategy. But my recommendation would be to do what he do best. Do what he do naturally. If Floyd stick to the game plan and beat Floyd, box, be smart, keep that jab on him, it's gonna be an easy fight. He has to tell Floyd one thing: stay off the ropes, keep fighting him, and keep checking him. That's all you have to do. Well, no, I trained him pretty much before I came in here. I still got to do my time. So once I do my time, then I'll be back to doing what I was doing before I came in here. And I was training Floyd, other fighters before I came here. So I don't think it's going to be anything different than when I get out.
Now we're back live at ringside with our expert commentator and the most celebrated trainer in the sport, Emanuel Stewart. Emanuel, Floyd Mayweather is as experienced, as aware, as knowledgeable as any 29-year-old fighter could be because of his background. But could there be a moment tonight in this fight when he could miss the voice of his Uncle Roger in the corner?
Yes. First of all, I believe that Floyd is in for a scuffle tonight. And if things get to be a little rough, he really needs to have someone that he can hear, a voice that he's used to listening to, that can give him some instructions. So in particular, a guy like Roger, who himself was a fighter, a world champion. Because this fight does not have to be necessarily an easy fight. That would be determined after the first 2 or 3 rounds.
Whenever a fighter's as good as Floyd Mayweather, whenever an athlete is as dominant as Floyd has been, there's a wish for competition. And Larry Merchant, it would have been impossible for all of us not to fall somewhat in love with Baldomir's great story, having come from selling feather dusters on the streets to get to where he is now. Have we given him too much of a chance?
Who isn't a sucker for a great story, Jim? Even if he is a 4-1 underdog. It's a real story. Feather dusters to riches, journeyman to champion. At 35, Carlos Baldomir is real. But Floyd Mayweather, in his prime, is considered an unreal virtuoso, an unreal boxing savant. I guess maybe the question is he the one who is exaggerated?
We shall wait and see. We're about to find out in just a few minutes. Now, tail of the tape for Mayweather and Baldomir. And you can see that Carlos Baldomir is 35 years old. He's really had two careers. One as a journeyman, during which he lost 9 times and had 6 draws. The second as a star fighter with a view of himself built on success. And in that sense, he's an unbeaten fighter. He hasn't lost in nearly 8 years. Mayweather 36-0. 1-inch height advantage for Floyd. A 2.5-inch arm length advantage, which could be significant from the armpit to the end of the fist for Floyd. He weighed in at 146, and showing what magnificent shape he's been in, the fact that he's a gym rat, the fact that this is the highest weight at which he's ever fought. He goes up overnight only to 149. Carlos Baldomir, who walks around at about 185, weighed in at 147, and was exultant at the fact that he was able to weigh in and make weight instantly upon stepping onto the scale. Tonight he weighs 162 unofficially. So unofficially, a 13-pound weight advantage for Baldomir in the fight tonight. Rules of the bout, whether unofficial. Ringside scorer Harold Letterman.
The Carlos Baldomir Floyd Mayweather fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the unified rules of the Association of Boxing Commissions. There is no 3-knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. In case the cut is caused by an accidental headbutt, we go to the scorecards if the 4 rounds have been completed, and you cannot be saved by the bell in any round, including the 12th and final round. Jim.
Floyd Mayweather has already held world titles at 130, 135, 140. He was given a title belt as the result of his win over Judah, because Judah still had one unaccountably. So even though he's held a title belt at 147, that's purely a statistical technicality. He hasn't been the champion of this division yet.
Well, in his own mind, he's the champion of every division, past, present, and future. He's the kind of performer who walks around like there's a band following him. You know, if he was a peacock, he'd never fold his feathers.
In his own mind, his pound-for-pound title is bigger than the welterweight title that Baldomir holds.
Well, and I think, frankly, fans are so confused by the panoply of belts in every division that many of them now pay more attention to the unofficial pound-for-pound ranking to identify who are the real stars in the sport. And incidentally, Floyd always says, Emmanuel, that this is a gladiator's sport, and now I know why he said it so many times leading into this fight.
Well, he's quite a showman, and I like the fact that even though he's wrapped up in all of his ego and all his other things he's doing, he still has trained properly for this fight. But other than that, I would actually favor Baldomir to beat it, except I know he's prepared himself very well.
Floyd shows up, shows off, and usually stops the show.
And incidentally, that shield is no giant exaggeration of the Mayweather body, because yesterday when he stepped onto the scales at the weigh-in, he looked way more like Roy Jones than ever before. A deeply muscled chest now, a rippled belly a la Jones, and rest assured that Floyd, who is something of a narcissist, who says that he takes a shower before he works out, is tremendously proud of the way he looks.
If he's that proud of the way he looks, maybe he should have foregone all of this kitschy showbiz stuff and showed us what he looks like.
Well, eventually we're going to get a chance to see. One thing, for almost certain, it's highly unlikely Carlos Baldomir is going to have a Halloween costume on.
Baldomir is one of those fighters who doesn't show off, he just shows up.
All over the world.
You know, even though Floyd has beat a lot of what we call big-name fighters, to me, this is the first real test that he's having as a professional fighter. Because I don't think he's ever been in with a guy that's coming in the ring with so much confidence and is really high-spirited and is great condition physically and mentally.
You know, it's interesting. If you compare Carlos Baldomir's human experience to that of other fighters, the valid analogy is Winky Wright. Just as Winky Wright had to wait a long time for respect in the United States and ultimately had to go to fight in Europe to get it, so too Carlos Baldomir had to leave his career in Argentina, had to leave his family behind, had to go on a nomad trip all around the world, ultimately to earn respect.
And you know what? The same as Winky labored in obscurity for all of those years and finally got his opportunity, and he took full advantage of it. Baldomir did the same thing. Whether he can do it tonight, but thus far this year, he's been fantastic, beating two fighters who were very highly respected in their own cities. And he feels very comfortable here tonight.
How poor was Baldomir as a younger man and fighter? He says when his children first tried spaghetti, having eaten a small bony fish that he used to get out of the local river, they asked if they had to take the bones out of the spaghetti.
As recently as a couple of years ago, he was driving a Pinto. Some of us remember Pintos. And his two victories this year over Zab Judah and Arturo Gatti match Mayweather's wins over the same opponents. Like Mayweather, he decisioned Judah. Like Mayweather, he knocked Gatti out. Let's go to Michael Buffer for the official introductions.
Ladies and gentlemen, Goose and Tudor Promotions, in association with Sequan Ringside Promotions, is proud to present the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the universally recognized welterweight championship of the world. Sponsored by True Dad Entertainment, Tycoon Armeniak, Ice Link Watches, and the motion picture Rocky Balboa. Sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Chairman Dr. Tony Alamo, Executive Director Keith Kaiser, and the World Boxing Council President Jose Suleiman. At ringside, the three judges who will be scoring this contest on the 10-point system: Chuck Giampa, John Keane, and Paul Smith. And inside the ring, the man in charge of the action, your referee, Jay Nady. And now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, from the Mandalay Bay Resort Casino of Las Vegas, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing white with pink, official weight 146 pounds. Professional record, a perfect one. 36 bouts, 36 victories, including 24 knockouts. From Grand Rapids, Michigan, the undisputed pound-for-pound king of boxing, the undefeated former super featherweight world champion, lightweight world champion, super lightweight world champion, and welterweight champion of the world, pretty boy, Floyd Mayweather. And fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trimmed with blue, official weight 147 pounds. Professional record, 43 victories, including 13 knockouts, 9 defeats, 6 bouts even. He comes to the ring tonight undefeated for almost 8 consecutive years. From Santa Fe, Argentina, the reigning, defending, universally recognized, true welterweight champion of the world, Carlos Tata Baldomir.
You do that better than
Do you have any questions? Okay. 12 rounds. Let's touch gloves and go to work.
Can Baldomir use his size to pressure and slow down the ultra-quick, ultra-talented Mayweather? That will be the story of this fight.
Round one begins. Carlos Tata Baldomir and Floyd Mayweather in spectacular leather trunks. In fact, I believe they're ostrich skin. We've discussed this before, Emmanuel. They'll be heavy. They'll probably bring a great deal of sweat. Probably an athlete like this won't be affected very much.
I agree with you. As the fight goes on, not only they're longer, more material, and there's heavier material.
But Floyd would probably tell you that he could fight with an anchor strapped to his back and be just as good.
But so far, Baldomir is making a mistake. He's fighting a technical cat and mouse type of a boxing match, which is going to permit Floyd to be more effective. He cannot be an intelligent fighter, which is what he's trying to do, and fight Floyd. He's going to have to be actually just an animal, just come in and fight. But he's fighting an intelligent fight right now, and you can't do that.
When Floyd Mayweather fought Arturo Gatti, there were a lot of ecstatic Gatti fans who thought their man was going to get a chance. Within the first minute of the fight, it was abundantly clear that the speed differential was simply too big. It wouldn't be terribly surprising if that turned up here as well.
Well, so far, Mayweather's taking control of the fight already. He's got Baldomir trying to figure out what he's going to do to him, and that's the bad thing to do in the beginning.
And there's already a red spot on the center of Carlos Baldomir's nose, right on the bridge of the nose, indicating that Floyd has already managed to strafe him there with either a jab or a power punch.
He's too slow to fight a technical fight.
Nobody is going to outbox Floyd Mayweather.
No, he should just come in and just make it a
Baldomir
fight.
does have boxing skills, but he's got to sell out, and we'll see if he can.
Baldomir seems to be taking the first round just to learn for himself exactly how difficult it's going to be to box with Mayweather. Maybe at some point early on he'll make the decision to switch gears. He was able to box some of the time with jab Judah. In fact, he caught Judah with a counterpunch in the 7th round, after which Judah didn't seem terribly willing in the fight.
But Mayweather's a much better fighter, and he has a particular very good straight right hand that he does very effective.
But Baldomir excited the crowd by catching Mayweather with a little left hook over by the ropes. And now there's blood over the left eye of Baldomir. So already he's bleeding from 2 places in round number 1. Floyd doesn't even seem to have done very much.
If he's going to get stopped, it's going to likely be by cuts.
Well, particularly with the 13-pound weight advantage, if Mayweather were able to put a man on his back who outweighs him 13 pounds, that would be quite a feather in his cap, as if he needs more feathers in his cap.
Floyd is taking his time. He's going to be shooting a lot of the straight right-hand leads off the bat. He's going to be pushing those off all night.
Mayweather's in the red corner, or check it, in the blue corner. Baldomir's in the red corner, and there's too much red in Baldomir's red corner. He's bleeding from above the left eye and the bridge of the nose. This is at the end of the very first round. And as we go there where they speak Spanish, our interpreter is Ray Torres.
Don't worry about this. It's nothing. It's a little scratch on the nose. Just a little scratch. It's nothing. Put some Vaseline on that cut. He lifts his elbow. You got to hit him in the body when he lifts his elbow.
It's hard to, you know what I mean? On boxing, use more than jab.
Interesting that the man in front of Floyd Mayweather in his corner was cutman Rafael Garcia. Leonard Ellerby, who is the head trainer tonight, spoke to Floyd from the side, with Floyd looking out of the corner to talk to Leonard. Maybe Leonard's just more comfortable there, or wants Rafael Garcia, the cut man, to get a good look at Floyd's face all the time. The cut work had to be done in Baldomir's corner.
In fact, it bothered me that Baldomir seemed to be overly concerned about what cuts or facial damages he had, not the type of attitude a guy that's supposed to be a tough guy should have. But, at this stage right here, Baldomir is fighting the wrong fight.
Well, I think he's starting to come forward. I think he realizes what he's up against, and I think he's starting to try to put pressure on.
Neither fighter landed in double figures in the first round. It's very bad news for Baldomir that Floyd Mayweather landed only 8 punches and produced 2 cuts on Baldomir's face. Hard right hand by Baldomir lands over the top. Sneaky right hand lead. Mayweather seemed unprepared.
Good right hand. But, Baldomir's got to get close because Floyd is trying to keep him at that distance where he can time him coming in and particularly hit him with a left hook as he pulls back. And Baldomir's coming in. He's going to pull back and throw that left hook at the same time and try to catch him.
Now, Baldomir is going to point out to Jay Nady that Floyd Mayweather holds his left wrist against his neck or against his chin while he steadies himself inside. It's a habit that Floyd has had throughout his career. Not many opponents have complained all that much, but I just had a hunch that Baldomir would. Quick left hook by Mayweather.
That's the left hook that he's going to try to use all night if he can. As long as Baldomir fights at that distance where he can keep a good space, he's going to hit him with a lot of those punches as he's coming in.
Baldomir made partial contact with the left hook. Hasn't quite been able to catch Floyd yet. But as Larry Merchant pointed out, it's getting a little closer here in round 2. Mayweather there with a perfect body shot and then moved back out. Can't be reached at that distance. Baldomir got in a little left hook to the ribcage. Good left hook upstairs by Mayweather. Crowd oohing and eyeing at the big missed right hands. There's a lot of wish here, or so it seems, that Baldomir can compete with Floyd, but then there's a lot of awe at how well Floyd does when he does his thing. Good, quick left hook by Mayweather. Baldomir aware that he's getting tattooed, trying to make it rougher.
But Floyd have not been able to land the clean, effective blows that he wants to with on Baldomir still at this stage. Particularly his little right-hand lead that he likes to throw real straight and fast. Baldomir's been a little problem for him, too.
Judging from the crowd's reaction, they like the idea of the bull and the bullfighter.
Once again, as Floyd Mayweather goes back to his corner, he's fighting without his regular trainer, Uncle Roger Mayweather, who is serving a 6-month sentence for battery in the Clark County Detention Center. And so other voices in Mayweather's corner tonight, and he says he's completely comfortable with that.
The man you see in the center, in front of him, is Rafael Garcia, who he credits with wrapping his hands properly.
Use a little more feint to bait him in because he's looking to load up with the right hand. Don't worry about that. When you shoot the right hand, you can just roll and rip right back with the uppercut. Okay. He's just trying to get in a slugging match early. We're going to box circles around.
Open up better for him.
Okay, keep touching him to the body. Okay. He can't take that shit downstairs. Completely open for him. Good round now.
CompuBox numbers in round 2. Mayweather 14 out of 20 power shots. Carlos Baldomir. Wishful thinking said to us yesterday, I think this will be an easier fight than the Judah fight. Judah's faster and has more power. Well, it's not going to be an easier fight than the Judah fight. And I think Baldomir probably already knows that. Mayweather, in the early going, by CompuBox count, landing nearly 50% of his punches and parceling them out on a measured basis. Floyd actually seems to generally take a few rounds, Emmanuel, to start setting up that pinpoint straight right hand, which is his primary offensive weapon.
He's getting his range now. He's starting to feel better comfortable with his pet punches, particularly the right hand and the left hook. When he shoots his power left hook, he actually leaps off from his toes, which gives him a lot of power when he shoots his left hook.
Once he starts to dial in the straight right hand and target the opponent, he'll throw that punch over and over and over, sometimes 4, 5, 6 in a punch. Baldomir, with a winging big shot, almost caught the back of Mayweather's head. Mayweather jumps in with a straight right hand lead. There's the straight right hand, and now he begins to unleash that weapon. So quick.
It's not a textbook fight. Somebody's going to land something soon that slows the pace down to a more normal fight.
Good right hand by Mayweather. Baldomir walking into a right hand shot. Body shot by Baldomir. Although Mayweather can clearly be called a great boxer, he's not nearly as jab-oriented as a lot of great boxers are.
You're right, and he's not really a boxer. He has cat-like reflexes, a few little pet moves that he does very effectively, but he really doesn't box per se, like jabbing to the head, jabbing to the body. His favorite is a little sneaky right-hand lead and the left hook, which he leaps at you with.
And he just landed that sneaky right-hand lead again, flush on Baldomir's chin. And gets in another counter right hand as Baldomir tries to land the left hook. The difference in speed is big, just as it was between Mayweather and Gatti.
But it's not just speed, as Mayweather himself often points out. It is a tremendous skill level that he has. Very good defensive fighter, and he's quick enough to come from the defense to the offense to take advantage of it.
Baldomir now decides to begin selling out to Mayweather's body, busting him both in the ribs and on the arms. Probably the best idea.
I heard the bucket right there. You use your jab just a little bit more. Yeah, I know. Okay, listen. Okay. Now we're gonna start giving him some feints and just walking on him. Pot shot him and just walk on him. Punch, because the thing is, he's slow as hell on his feet, and we want him to move his feet.
But he awkward. Like,
I know he awkward, but like I said, we want him to move.
Good,
we want him to move his.
We're winning, Carlos. That hand that you hit him and hurt him in the body. Yeah, hit him in the top.
Three rounds in to a scheduled 12-round bout. Number one pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Floyd Mayweather, in cream-colored trunks with pink trim. And you saw the CompuBox numbers, which showed Mayweather landing nearly 50% of his punches, while Baldomir lands 12% of his power punches. Baldomir's corner said, "You're winning, Carlos." Harold, what's the truth?
No way. 30-27. 3 rounds to nothing. Floyd Mayweather Jr. Jim, I got to tell you, I love that leaping left hook. Ain't seen nothing like that since the late Floyd Patterson. I mean, he does it perfectly, too. He's landed left hook stepping back, left hook's moving back, right hand's moving back. Floyd Mayweather landed all the clean shots. Carlos Baldomir won for an elbow or a forearm shiver in round 3, but 3-0 Mayweather.
Baldomir swinging at Mayweather's head and finding nothing, as has been the case through most of the first 3 rounds. Again, I believe the way to do this would be to focus on the body for quite some time.
The difference in Mayweather's a lot different than Gatti, where it was always a body right there. When he punches a lot, he's got to try to not only punch at Mayweather, but trying to lunge at him and do both at the same time, because Mayweather's keeping that distance all the time where he can time him and keep him off balance.
And avoid the incoming, because Floyd counters with blinding speed.
His footwork makes a big difference.
Quick little right hand as Baldomir dived on Mayweather at the ropes. Right hand upstairs for Baldomir. Bodied Mayweather off to get room for the shot. Referee Jay Nady hasn't had a whole lot to do. They get into closer quarters. You might think that favors the much bigger man, Baldomir, but Floyd Mayweather loves to fight inside.
Yeah, he uses his left shoulder and his elbow and his right gloves and parry punches, and then he'll hit you with a particular little short right hand when he's in that position.
His speed advantage is just as significant inside as out. Good right hands by Mayweather. Over and under. Baldomir getting tattooed around the head.
Baldomir needs to stay right where he is, make it a brawl, get back to Mayweather right away. It takes too much time for him to get back after the exchange.
At no point ever in his fight with Judah did Baldomir look discouraged in any way. Here, he begins to show a mask of at least mild negativity as he realizes what the problem really is. Too many punches, too many angles, too good. Baldomir landed a left hook upstairs. Mayweather responded with a flurry of body shots.
There's nothing happening. Everything's okay. I've stopped the flow. Yeah, he's weakening now. Yeah, and if we change the rhythm, we're going to kill him soon. Everything, Carlos, you're working real good.
Right here, you see Floyd doing one of his favorite things, catching punches with his left elbow and shoulder and coming back with a little counter right hand. And Baldomir's punches are just so long and wide, and it gives a perfect target for a guy like a sharpshooter like Floyd to get inside of his punches.
In order to neutralize the faster man, the opponent has to punch harder than Baldomir does.
Yeah, but he's got to fight a little closer distance. But actually, I see a little fatigue in Baldomir instead of Floyd. And he cannot afford to slow down. Once he loses his reflexes, Floyd is going to pot shot him.
You know, we know that Floyd has confidence in head trainer Leonard Ellaby, the man who's replacing Roger Mayweather tonight. He's showing a lot of confidence in Rafael Garcia, the cut man, too. Rafael gets to talk just as much as Ellaby in the corner.
He feels that Rafael has been the big factor why he has not had hand injuries in the last few years. He says he does a great job of wrapping his hands also.
And if he doesn't hurt his hands in this fight, then that takes away one possible avenue towards success for Baldomir.
Baldomir is just too slow to me.
Good sweeping right hand by Mayweather. He finds all the angles.
He's playing a thinking man's game right now with Floyd, which is not the way to fight.
Baldomir trying to feint with Mayweather, but he feints so slowly that he simply leaves himself open to the quick shot.
And he seems to be getting tired, too.
Hard right hand by Mayweather after Baldomir landed a couple of body shots. Right hand shot. If you're going to throw to Floyd's body, you've got to accept the reality that he's going to counter you upstairs.
At this stage, I think Baldomir is getting tired physically and mentally because of the variety of different things that Floyd is doing, and the speed so he's getting drained physically and mentally. He's not even to think pretty good now.
Another perfect right hand lead for Floyd Mayweather. We told you, it takes a few rounds to dial it in. From that point forward, it's virtually flawless. He's already in that right hand groove now. This round has been a showcase for Floyd Mayweather's brilliant straight right hand. And now the blood is streaming down the face of Carlos Baldomir, particularly from the middle of his nose. That bump on the bridge of his nose was opened up in round number 1.
Mayweather has a hit and run style here that is awfully difficult to cope with.
Things are going so well for Mayweather to this point in the fight that you suspect if he dropped a bunt, Baldomir would throw it into left field. An angry Carlos Baldomir gesturing to referee Jay Nady in frustration. He's been humiliated this far.
And that's what I'm looking for. That's exactly what I'm looking for. You box circles around this guy all day long. He's too slow on his feet.
I told you boxing, everything is
Too slow on his feet.
Huh?
Listen. When you're working like that, give me another round just like that. You're boxing circles around.
Carlos, you gotta get closer to him. Put your left foot in between his feet so you can punch. Don't get crazy now. Come on, inside.
Right here, you see Floyd landing his favorite little shot, a little short right hand, while Baldomir's throwing wide looping punches. He's punching inside of it with short, accurate punches.
Carlos Baldomir has only been knocked out once in his entire career. That's 58 professional fights. He was stopped in his 7th pro fight many years ago. But the damage he's sustaining here, particularly the bleeding nose, cut above the eye, number of flush right hands he's taken from Floyd Mayweather, make it something that you can't rule out, the possible accumulation of punishment type TKO. Now Baldomir listening to his corner and trying to get closer to Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather landed 19 out of 46 punches by copy box count in the last round. That's his high connect total and his high attempted punch total in the fight.
Baldomir landed one right hand, but you know, the thing about it, he's so slow that Floyd rolls his shoulders where it looks like he's getting hit a lot when he's not really getting hit.
He's slow compared to Floyd.
Slow compared to, yeah, he was just plain slow tonight to be fair.
I think he has a better idea now, which is to at least get in there and try to lean all over him, bring his body to bear somehow in the fight.
If you're going to get hit anyway, at least try to get inside and make it a brawl.
Another flush right hand shot by Floyd Mayweather, and he steps away. You know, Emmanuel, we were talking about how Mayweather, with all of his skills, isn't really jab dependent. Look at the limited punch output. He only throws 45, 50 punches around in most instances, limiting the opportunities for the incoming, for the counter shot. And he isn't jab-oriented, and he uses his feet so well. How much is he like Roy Jones, his pound-for-pound predecessor?
I thought Roy actually could put combinations together a lot better. Floyd lands 1 or 2 clean punches here and there, but Roy could put them together. He could put 10 punches together sometimes.
I had the same sense that you did, Jim, that his style is now gone away from classic well-schooled boxing into something else. Maybe he needs to do this when he's fighting bigger fighters.
More like an artistic virtuoso style, well, Roy Jones.
Yeah, but he's pot-shotting. He's picking a shot, pot-shotting, and getting in and out. But Roy once he got you to go on, Roy would put punches together.
Does Floyd not do it because he's just more defensively oriented?
I think he's very defensive oriented. That's just part of his style at this stage. He punches and he goes back to his defense again.
Part of the style that his father taught him as a child, because of course his father, Floyd Mayweather, was a very defensively oriented fighter and trainer. Baldomir catches Mayweather with a crowd-pleasing shot. Many here want to see a fight turn into a brawl, and they cheer Baldomir for his effort.
Let's stop the blood now. Let me work on it. All right, Carlos. Everything nice and calm. Everything's calm. Everything's good. Give him some water.
Okay. Give me a little more body work, baby. A little more body work, slowing him down, and then we're going to try him down the stretch. A little more body work. Okay. The hook to the body and that straight right hand to the body. Keep working. You're working good. Keep walking on it. Touch him and keep.
Looks like a full house, or at least very close to it, here in the Mandalay Bay Event Center. That would be a positive statement on the increased drawing power, the gradually increasing drawing power of the sport's #1 pound-for-pound fighter, Floyd Mayweather. Harold Letterman, how do you have it through 6?
You know, Jim, boxing fans love to see the loser win. I mean, Carlos Baldomir has been doing nothing more than landing right-hand rabbit punches for 6 rounds. Late the 6th round, he lands 1 or 2 good shots, and the place goes nuts for him. I give him credit. 6-0, 60-54, Floyd Mayweather Jr. And just like Roy Jones, he shows us stuff we never saw before. Floyd Mayweather and clean puncher.
Baldomir trying to come over the top all the time now.
But he's so slow that Floyd can see him coming, so he just rolls the punches out with his shoulder. So he doesn't even land them effectively when he grazes them.
You heard Leonard Ellerby in Mayweather's corner between rounds, Emmanuel, saying no more body work. Let's just work upstairs from now on. I assume that means he wants Floyd to keep his hands higher and be certain that they don't get caught with a wild power shot down the stretch.
Yeah, well, I haven't saw Floyd throw that many body punches myself effectively.
I guess there's not much need to throw body punches if you can land whatever you want.
Yeah, Baldomir doesn't move his head. No head
on the opponent's head.
No, he doesn't move his head. He seems to really, I guess, be proud of the fact that he can take a punch.
Well, that's just who he is. He's been that way for 13, 14 years.
Grew up in the same Argentine town which produced the great middleweight champion Carlos Monzon. And of course, Monzon's trainer, Amilcar Bruza, is sort of an executive trainer and advisor to Baldomir's camp.
Well, Monzon inspired him. And the way he put it was, everybody toils in the shadow of Monzon, but at least I made it to the mountaintop. Right now, he's in the process of toppling off that mountaintop.
Stop! Or being toppled off of it. Stop! Baldomir starting to get to Floyd's body just a little bit more than was the case in the earlier rounds. Stop! Emmanuel Stewart has told you how effective Mayweather can be using his left shoulder and his left arm to defend inside.
Baldomir needs to get right back to what he was doing just before the referee broke him up right there.
Baldomir looks considerably discouraged as he trudges back to his corner after 7.
What? You fine. You fine. Like I said, what we gotta do, continue to keep touching him down to the body, because it's slowing him down. Okay. He don't like it down there. Okay. He taking the shit in the head for right now, but we're gonna keep breaking him down.
It's a mirror. Deep breath, real deep. He's working less, so you got to get him now. You got to throw a punch, but throw it in the body.
So far through 7 innings, we have a Kenny Rogers-style shutout. And you have some blood on your shirt, Jim.
Oh, yes. That is blood from Santos Pacquiao, who fought on the undercard against rising welterweight prospect Paul Williams. Williams is a fighter that you might see in the future on HBO. Through 7, Baldomir averaging 6 landed punches out of 50 punches per round. Mayweather, 14 out of 38. Floyd Mayweather, best fighter in the sport, only throwing 38 punches per round against a guy who's seemingly a sitting duck target. Shows you how defensively oriented Floyd can be.
I haven't seen a really serious punch land through 7 rounds. Have you, Emmanuel?
No, I haven't. No, I have not. You know, Baldomir's doing this, Ali used to say, like a washwoman type with his delivery. And Floyd has not been able to land that many really devastating clean punches. He lands a lot of the right hands, but to me, don't seem like he has any power on him for the most part.
Well, he's fighting a guy who walks around at about probably 30 to 35 pounds higher than Floyd's walking around weight, and who outweighs him unofficially by 13 pounds in the ring tonight. So maybe it isn't that he lacks power, just that he's fighting somebody who's so much bigger.
But his punches are not designed to be power punches. Maybe that's the plan, because he doesn't think he can really put a serious dent in Baldomir.
This time, Baldomir gets an opportunity because of Mayweather's straight right hand and lands 2 left hooks to the body and a right hand upstairs. That was probably the most threatening moment of the fight for Floyd Mayweather, and now he's in a corner again. Stop. So Baldomir is getting closer, perhaps just because they're into the 8th round and foot movement is beginning to ebb away a little bit.
And I didn't see him land any really effective clean punches. I saw him throw a lot of punches, but it seemed like Floyd got away from most all of them. The most consistent punching still has been the little counter right hands of Floyd so far in the last few rounds.
They trade right hands, and Floyd gets there first. Day-Nady warning Baldomir not to hold Mayweather behind the head. Quick left hook from Floyd. Lands the punch, moves away. Throws a couple of jabs, moves away.
Is this, Emmanuel, how Floyd Mayweather would fight Oscar De La Hoya?
I think so. I don't think he's going to take any unnecessary chances. He's still a cautious fighter to some degree. And one of the things that Baldomir can handle is foot movement.
Well, an interesting element of a potential Mayweather-De La Hoya equation is to what degree does the threat of De La Hoya's big left hook limit the output of Mayweather's straight right hand?
Oscar does have a very good left hook.
Bingo.
But in particular, you're not going to hit Mayweather with right hands that easy, the way he rolls his shoulders, but the left hook could be effective.
Close your eyes now. Let me work on that. Carlos, we're losing this fight. We're down by 3 points, and there's 4 rounds left. We got to get closer now. Yeah, get closer.
Have just a little bit more this round. And keep walking around on him. Keep touching me and walk on him. You got to make him, keep making him move his feet. Because he's slow on his feet. Keep making him move on his feet. Working good.
That's all you needed. That's all you needed, champ. Let's go. Okay?
Feeling good, baby. This ain't nothing but the gym.
A beautiful look at the majestic Mandalay Bay Hotel, south end of the Strip in Las Vegas, on a gloriously clear night in the Nevada desert. Through 8 rounds, Floyd Mayweather has had his way, with Carlos Baldomir winning, as you can see on Harold Letterman's card, every round. It's interesting, in Baldomir's corner they said, you're down 3 points. And I'm sitting here thinking, let me see, 8 rounds. How do I do the math on that? Had to be 5, 2, and 1. Where they saw 2 rounds that Carlos won and an even round, we're not sure. In order to have any chance at all, Baldomir's got to embarrass himself by lunging in, selling out, and just trying to make this into a messy
This
ball.
is the type of a fight that I expected him to fight in the beginning, and it's the only kind of a fight that he can fight. Maybe the little pep talk between rounds, or will I say reality talk maybe, did spur him on a little bit.
I think he probably wasted a few early rounds before he figured out that he was going to have to fight this kind of a fight. But I'm not sure it would have done any good anyway.
Yeah, now we could have told him that 6 months ago.
Well, everybody did, but he had to find out for himself. He's been successful with his style over the last 8 years, and you got to convince him to change it. And Mayweather has.
Great right hand lead for Floyd Mayweather as Baldomir had a notion to throw a punch. Mayweather popped him. Another quick right hand inside. And a left hook. Baldomir keeps missing. Straight right hand lands. Stuns Baldomir.
That was a good right hand, maybe the best of the fight.
He's landing a lot of right hands, but I think Baldomir, the fact he can take a good punch, the weight and all that. But even Floyd, the punches, I don't think he's still tightening up on the punches, so to say, with the full effect.
In this round, Baldomir just can't find it. Cannot locate Mayweather anywhere in the ring.
And he looks like he's getting tired, too.
Two minutes and 12 seconds, and Carlos Baldomir has barely landed a punch in this round. Now he finally makes contact. Floyd Mayweather wants to create distance. Baldomir might as well be in Idaho.
I look around and the crowd, everybody's sitting down, watching respectfully, admiring the fact that Mayweather is such a highly skilled prize fighter. I don't see anybody on the edge of their seats. I don't see anybody roaring. It's just a wonderful exhibition. But where's the drama?
Working good. Just keep turning. Keep turning. It's easy fight. Easy fight. Keep turning. Okay. Keep touching him downstairs. Keep touching him downstairs. Touching with the hook to the body and a straight right hand to the body. Keep running into it. And keep checking him with the hook.
Don't get discouraged now. I'm too stiff. Too tight. Yeah, you're trying to hit him too much with the right. Yeah, and the bottom.
Well, the drama, apparently, Larry, is the continued wait to see whether Floyd Mayweather will get a chance to fight Oscar De La Hoya, or Shane Mosley, or Antonio Margarito, or whoever's next on the list after the elimination of Baldomir here.
You know, I agree with you, and maybe Baldomir is showing those fighters that they have to modify their styles in order to deal with Mayweather.
Carlos Baldomir has landed in single digits in all 9 rounds so far. Harold, has he won any rounds?
No. You know, Jim, Larry Merchant is 100% correct. The crowd's not saying a word. I'd like to go into Floyd's corner and say, you know what, Floyd? You're 9 points ahead. Stand in the middle of the ring and bang with the guy and give the fans their money's worth, because he ain't doing it. Anyway, 9-0, 90-81. Floyd Mayweather Jr. in a very, very unpleasing performance because he's not fighting with the guy.
Larry, I was going to say that before the bell ended. Even though he's winning the fight, it's not to me that overly impressive. When he's comparing himself as being greater than Sugar Ray Leonard and the Tommy Hearns, there's no way in the world those fighters would have been able to hit a man as easy as he's hitting Baldomir, and they wouldn't have sat down and tried to get him out of there with some good combinations instead of landing 1 or 2 punches and taking off, getting the computer points, so to say.
Emmanuel, it's not just Leonard and Hearns. He's been quoted comparing himself favorably to Sugar Ray Robinson.
Oh, my God, I know he didn't do that.
He has been quoted, I repeat.
No.
Well, you know, Robinson, who started his career as a lightweight, was knocking out middleweights with 1 punch.
Yeah, he right now, what he's showing that he's got speed over a slower opponent, and that's all it is. But there's no way in the world a great fighter like he's saying that he is would be performing this way, especially with this audience and this great situation.
When you're ranked #1 on the pound-for-pound list, you have a right to at least think about Robinson. The whole pound-for-pound concept was invented to try to place Robinson in the sport.
Well, he's the one that created the pound-for-pound myth, everything.
We're starting to hear some boos now.
But the consensus of most boxing experts, frankly, is that there's still been only one Sugar Ray Robinson.
There never will be anything like him, neither.
Hey, you know, all that is good to talk about while we're watching or not watching much of a fight, because it's not a fair fight, put it that way. And maybe there's nobody who can be in a fair fight with Mayweather the way he's fighting now.
Baldomir lands a sweeping left hook. It had no effect on Mayweather. Baldomir makes contact with little right hand. But frankly, there's no snap on Carlos's punches. He's just waving at it.
Well, I would like to see Floyd myself still fighting Margarito, and not just saying it because I manage him. I would like to see him fight the IBF champion, Kermit Citron.
Citron is long-armed and hits hard with the right hand. Does he really have
He's a big man, 5 feet 11, and a good puncher. And Margarito is too, because he will not do what he's doing to those guys that he's doing tonight.
10 rounds in the books. If something different happens, we'll let you know.
You're not bleeding anymore. You got 2 rounds, Carlos. Just 2 rounds to do it. Yeah, come on. Then jab in there, do something. Come on, we can still do this.
Keep touching downstairs.
Take a nice deep breathe. Breathe deep. Breathe deep.
Yeah,
Breathe deep.
listen.
Breathe deep.
Every time you touch him with this stiff jab downstairs, he's bracing. Play him 2 times down there and check him with a hard hook.
Fans are starting to trickle out of the arena.
In the 10th round, however, Floyd Mayweather threw only 2 or 3 right hands all round by CompuBox count, and the question becomes, has he damaged his right hand? Doesn't look as though it's significant at this stage in the fight, but of course, as you watch the career of Mayweather, that's one of the question marks, and if he's not throwing the right hand because it hurts, that's news. If he's not throwing it because he's protecting it and he's already won the fight, that's not news. The only time Floyd Mayweather actually suffered a knockdown in his career against Carlos Famous Hernandez in Grand Rapids, Michigan, it was because his hand hurt so badly that he reached down and touched the canvas with it. Hernandez didn't even hit him.
It was his own punch that knocked him down because
Exactly.
he hurt his hand.
Baldomir shows enough spirit to occasionally trap Mayweather along the ropes or in the corner and throw a few shots, but he's landing nothing really significant.
It was, for Carlos Baldomir, the year of the blue snow, as someone once said. He just had a great year, made a lot of money for a guy who had never made any.
I started to say, wasn't it green snow in American terms? There's a left hook for Baldomir.
He's not even knowing where he's throwing his punches for the most. He's just throwing punches. But, you know, but still, I don't think Floyd is in serious doubt of getting hit with anything because he sees them coming.
Good quick left hook by Mayweather. Floyd backing up all the time now, just pausing occasionally to pot shot Baldomir as he comes in. Landing clean left hooks in this round. It's a left hook showcase round, and once again brings up the question.
Not many fighters you ever see, Jim, I'm sorry for interrupting, fight as well going backward as Mayweather. And that's really, I think, what separates him from most other even elite fighters.
Joe Calzaghe looked that way going backward in his win over Jeff Lacey, not in his recent showing against Sakio Bika.
But what was interesting with Calzaghe, he can even bend to the inside and start slipping and sliding punches and punching up between and then get back and fight outside again.
He has unique skills. Round 11 looks very much like its predecessors. The only question here is, why is Floyd Mayweather using his right hand so sparingly now? Has something happened to it which could conceivably be a factor in his continuing career? Or is he simply resting the right hand because he doesn't have to use it to keep beating Baldomir?
Baldomir is showing every indication that he would quit if Floyd would really open up with a series of combinations, punches.
Good left hook by Mayweather. It was a left hook round. And at some point, we'll ask about that right hand.
Tiger Woods is leaving the house.
Winky Wright.
Winky Wright's leaving the house.
Last round.
Did Barkley leave with Tiger Woods? I got a hunch where they're going.
3 good minutes of smart boxing. 3 good minutes of smart boxing. That's all I need. 3 good minutes of smart boxing.
You have nothing, champ. Nothing at all. So keep boxing like you're doing just now. You don't need to change because he's frustrated completely. When he turn around,
Go back out there and touch it.
Ladies and gentlemen, round 12, final round.
CompuBox numbers through the 11th round. A battered Carlos Baldomir, averaging 6 landed punches through 54 punches thrown per round. In other words, connecting at about an 11% connect rate. And Floyd Mayweather averaging 16 out of 38. In other words, a measured tactical performance in which he has thrown just enough and landed just enough to achieve dominance over Baldomir in every round. There hasn't been a moment of real excitement since the opening bell.
The only excitement, Jim, is right now, because a lot of people laid 2-to-1 odds that this fight would go the full 12 rounds. For them, this is a very exciting round.
Mayweather grinning at Baldomir in center ring. Robinson Lamada, it hasn't been.
Yeah, but this is not what great fighters would be doing. Especially you get a guy you can hit with a right hand anytime you want to. And you would be running from him, no way in the world. You would sit down and knock him on out. If you're great.
Mayweather may be saying, hey, it's unfair of you to ask me to sit down and knock out a man who outweighs me 13 pounds tonight.
You look at what happened when Robinson fought Lamada. Big weight disparity there. They just didn't have the day of the fight weigh-in, but it was ugly. They did on it.
Well, a heck of a year for Carlos Baldomir. Teeters to an unhappy end. Baldomir's glorious win over Zab Judah in New York and his stirring KO of Arturo Gatti in Atlantic City gave him the chance to make a fight against Floyd Mayweather, as Mayweather is choosing opponents while biding his time, hoping that he's going to get a big fight against Oscar De La Hoya. You wonder what De La Hoya thinks of what he's seen tonight and whether Mayweather's application is still active. Baldomir had one of his best moments of the fight as he finally pinned Mayweather in the corner, and Mayweather grinned at him. A mixed response from the crowd after a whitewash domination of Baldomir by Mayweather.
Somebody once said there is no room for perfection in boxing.
You mean you think it won't sell? Perfection to me is a one-punch knockout, but this was another brilliant display of Mayweather's skill level, his edge over everybody else in the sport, it seems. It seems possible that Floyd Mayweather damaged his right hand at some point in the fight. The key evidence would be the way that he dominated the last few rounds with his left hook without throwing many rights. Normally his money punch is the straight right hand. Look at that. Harold Letterman found a round to give to Carlos Baldomir. Baldomir won the 12th.
Yeah.
Congratulations from everyone to Carlos Baldomir on having gotten here. The decision is, of course, a foregone conclusion. And let's hear what Michael Buffer has to say about it.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the Mandalay Bay Resort Casino of Las Vegas, we go to the judges' scorecards. John Keane, 120, 108. Chuck Jampa, 120, 108. Paul Smith, 118, 110. All to the winner by unanimous decision. New welterweight champion of the world, still pound for pound the best in the world, pretty boy, Floyd Mayweather.
And let's take a look at a statistical profile of the wipeout. Mayweather landing 120 more total punches, throwing 212 fewer punches, landing at a 43% connect rate. Not trying to knock Baldomir out, doing enough to win every round, not taking any real chances in the fight. Power shots, Baldomir landing 67 out of 562. 12%. That is a miserable performance. Demonstrates the tremendous disparity in speed. Mayweather landed more than half his power punches. Let's go to Larry Merchant with the winner and now the welterweight champion of the world, Floyd Mayweather.
Thank you, Jim. Congratulations, Floyd. First, thought we heard you say you hurt your right hand. Did you, and when did you?
Yes, I hurt my right hand in the middle of the fight. But first, I want to thank God for the victory. You know, for putting me through it. I hurt my right hand. You know, probably in the 6th round. I'm really not sure what round it was.
Do you think it's broken, or is this just a strain, the kind of thing you've had in the past?
Well, this is not a pain that I felt in the past. You know, my hand's been broken before in different spots. You know, but I pulled through it. You know, my team rooted me on, my fans rooted me on, and I just went out there and put on an excellent boxing clinic.
Was this as easy as you anticipated?
Well, you know, I feel that down the stretch I would have got the knockout. I would have made him surrender, you know, wave the white flag. But he fought his heart out, I fought my heart out, and we put on a pleasing performance tonight.
You've often talked about boxing as entertainment. You came to the ring as a
gladiator.
A gladiator. But do you think this was particularly entertaining? I mean, there were people booing, there were people leaving after the 10th and 11th round. And since you've brought the subject up, I want your response.
Well, you know, you always give me a hard time. You don't ever give me the credit I really deserve.
You got a shutout. You got a shutout. We all give you credit for that.
Yeah, but I appreciate it. But you'll never give me the credit I really deserve. I mean, you're good at commentating, so stick to commentating. Let me do the fighting. I'm the best at what I do. That's why with HBO. HBO is my family. HBO is my home. And like I said before, you can learn boxing. Cutting my cap, you can learn boxing from Pretty Boy Floyd. You're just a commentator. Stick to commentating.
Well, that's exactly what I'm doing, and I'm asking you the question.
You know, it's more like this. Don't always be a critic and be so negative. Let's be positive. I got the victory tonight under any circumstance. So all you can do is respect me for that. Every time a fighter come out there, I know you keep your fingers crossed.
We do.
You hoping and wishing that a fighter can beat me.
No.
I'm the king of the throne, and Floyd Mayweather is here to stay. I can win under any circumstances. You always talk. Let me do the talking.
No, everybody wants.
That's what you always do. Let me do the
talking. See you in a good fight.
HBO, I love you. This Pretty Boy Floyd, the best of the best, the creme de la creme. Filthy Rich Records is what it is. I'm the best. I beat fighters under any circumstances. I can pull through it. Larry Merchant is just a commentator. He don't know nothing about boxing.
Are you looking forward to fighting Oscar De La Hoya? Do you think this fight will get him into the ring with you?
Well, absolutely. Oscar De La Hoya won it. You know, he know my number. He know how to call me. He know how to get in touch with me. Only thing I'm going to do is keep racking up victories and beating the best. Oscar De La Hoya said that he wants the best. He want to leave out fighting the best. Bring it on. I'll tax that ass, too.
Thank you very much. Congratulations again, Floyd.
Pretty Boy Floyd, the one and only, signing off.
Well, we finally got some drama. So, Emmanuel, do you